Hi, I'm Wally from Black Dot Energy, and this is the WITS PIMD maintenance technical videos. We're at the Webster plant. This plant was designed by myself at Black Dot Energy and basically supplies the whole Webster building with hot water. Initially in this design, we had 49 electrical geysers that was placed within the shafts of these bathroom units. And when we built this extension on Webster, we basically replaced all those gas burners out of this central plant. This video specifically is about the gas burners. So it's number 3 of the technical videos. So in video number 1, we looked at the initial assessment of the plant room, identifying if there's a problem and where it is. The second video, we looked at the filtration systems, which in fact looks at the circulation to the burners. This video is specifically about the RENNAI burners itself. In this video, we're going to be looking at the main components of the RENNAI burners. The control logic behind the RENNAI burners is the following. We've got a thermostat that's positioned halfway on the tank, and that thermostat is set at 60 or 65 degrees. If the tank goes below that temperature, the thermostat then activates and it gives power to the pump. This is our circulation pump, and what the pump does, it activates and it circulates water from the bottom of the tank, the cold side, through the pump, through the filter, towards the RENNAI burners. The RENNAI burners are activated and triggered and switched on the moment that there's flow. So the thermostat switches on the pump circulates water through the RENNAI burners, and the moment there's flow through the burners, it electronically ignites, it switches on, and it heats the water that's circulated. The capacity of these RENNAI burners is in fact in such a way that it can heat this entire 10,000 litre storage tank within 2 hours. And you can see that it's positioned only at the top half. The logic for that is we've got an entire solar plant, so the solar plant must have a buffer capacity so that during the day we can load all that solar hot water energy into the bottom half of the tank, in fact charge the whole tank, and then the thermostat regulates that at any point we've got hot water in the top section of the tank. So when we look at the RENNAI burners in terms of error code, all the error codes are displayed in this little window here. So under normal operation, if the RENNAI burners are functional and nothing is wrong, it will indicate the set temperature that it's heating the water at. Currently these units are set at 65 degrees. So inside this unit, if you take the cover off, there's little digits that you move from left to right. That then in fact sets the temperature. So if it's for instance set at 50 degrees or 55 or 60 or 65, in fact you can take it right up to 85. The recommended temperature and heating is about 60, maximum 65, because the higher the temperature setting, you sort of reduce the life expectancy on the burners. So 60, 65 is ideal. When something is wrong with the burners, it will then display an error code. Majority of the times in the history that we've had over the last year, the error code that we get is error code 10. Okay, so if you look at the code of these burners, it's a RENNAI 200E, and E means that it's an outdoor unit, which this is in fact exactly is. Although it's got a little roof, it's designed as an outdoor unit and it's got a vented exhaust. So the error codes on these units vary anything from a 1 to up to 30. To give you an example, and what we'll do is we'll put a little sticker on here with all the error codes. But error code 2, no burner operation because there's freeze protection. Error code number 3, power interruption during waterfall. Okay, power went off while you were extracting water, but that will reset. Error code 10, and that's the one we've had and the only one, in fact refers to air supply or exhaust blockage. So the air supply where it pulls in the air, and then the exhaust blockage. And what it says on the error code 10, ensure that RENNAI approved venting materials are being used. So inside here that the RENNAI filter equipment is being used. Check that nothing is blocking the inlet or the exhaust. So you can see here there's already quite a bit of dust and dirt. You can see it on my hands. So these needs to be serviced, and hence the maintenance contracts with the gas RENNAI contractors. Okay, it's not something that WITS or their plumbing people would do. It's a certified RENNAI burner installer that needs to do that. But that would refer, if there's an error code 10, it is the flow through the unit, which is the air vent or the exhaust. What else it says is ensure that the vent length is within limits, and that is during the installation, that's fine. Ensure that the condensation collar was installed correctly, verify the dip switches are set properly, check the fan for blockages. So really an error code 10 refers to getting the gas consultant or the gas installer out to service these units. Then we've got an error code 11, no ignition. Again, it's an internal problem. Error code 12, flame failure, internal problem. Error code 14, thermal fuse. Error code 16, over temperature warning. In other words, again, we've got a blockage in the circulation pipes. Error code 32, outgoing water temperature sensor fault. And so it goes on up to error code, in fact, 72, flame sensing default unit. So when you've identified the error codes, we at least know what's wrong. But the point is, if there's an error code, you have to get the RENNAI installers out to come and fix this, hence why we've got the preventative maintenance schedule. So in the first videos, we've showed you the initial checks, where to do the fault finding and identify if there's a problem with the burners. The second video, we had the filtration system, where we showed you how to flush the main filter and the RENNAI filters. In this video, really you need to understand what the error codes is, and at least when you phone the contractor to say there's an error code 10, it refers to the venting of the unit, please come and fix it. What I have found is, as an interim measure, really just to give hot water to the students as an interim measure, it does help. If you switch the unit off on the main DB board, just switch that off and switch it on again to reset the units. Then it will temporarily switch on again and heat the water, just to ensure service delivery for that interim period. That's now specifically if it's error code 10. But do phone the contractors that they can come out and service it. This concludes the video on the gas burners. I hope that has been insightful. Please also watch the earlier videos in terms of flushing the filters, and also the next technical videos where we refer to the other components of this system. Thank you very much.